up, everybody? We are here to talk about another UFC card. But before I do, I got to introduce my boy, Frank's Fight Club. What's going on, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good. Hey, we killed the last card, man. So I got to make sure we remind everyone how we did. If you guys came and watched our first breakdown together on the Vinicius and Bautista fight, the first three, we basically got it all right. So we had Bautista inside the distance. You mentioned submission. I don't know what else you want to talk about for that fight or the other three.
Not gonna lie, I thought Bautista was gonna maybe put on him a little bit later than he did, but Oliveira showed he had zero gas tank. Like I said, I was saying he's probably gonna gas, in the third round, fourth round. It didn't even get there. So I don't think Oliveira really belongs in the bantamweight division. I think he's just cutting too much weight, and his energy was completely gone for that fight. In the co-main, Horiguchi guy broke his hand in the first round and still 30-27. I mean, he looked amazing. He looked like he was 28 years old.
I was surprised he didn't finish him, but he got to a decision win. Obviously, a dominant decision win too. But he hurt him so many times too. So Amir Abazi has my respect. I thought he was gonna get clapped up in the first like the last two rounds. I thought he was done, but survived to the end.
Yeah, I'm happy he got the decision. I was on Horiguchi decision, so there's that. And then Kuniev Almeida. I picked Almeida, but I think we were kind of both agreeing that like Kuniev could have some decent value if the line moved a little more.
Yeah, he was the value side, man. He got plus 140. Like I said, man, Houghton just didn't do enough damage. I don't know what's up with him. He is a physical beast, and it was very clear. Like if he threw punches or he put pressure, like Kuniev had to respect it, but he just didn't do anything.
Didn't do it. Now he's gone from the UFC.
So you guys gotta check out his video. It's hilarious.
Yeah, like it was long overdue. This guy just doesn't want to fight. I don't understand it. Like he's probably in the best shape in the heavyweight division, physicality wise, and he refuses to use his strength and his advantages. He didn't even go for a takedown against Kuniev either, which I was really surprised.
Crazy, man. But hey, look, we're here for another UFC fight card. And look, I think this one's going to be another banger, and we're going to have some more plays for you guys. So if you're going to make some predictions on this card, man, before you do, make sure you subscribe to this channel and my boy Frank's Fight Club. So we're going to come up here as often as you guys want it, man. So let's go start talking about these. The next one, man, Strickland versus Hernandez. It's not this upcoming Saturday, but it will be not on Valentine's Day. It's going to be on February 21st. So you guys have a lot of time. We have a lot of time in between that, but we want to come up here quickly so that you guys can get an advantage before any lines move. But let's go straight into the main card. We got Sean Strickland against Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. My man, why don't you start us off? Who do you got?
I think Fluffy's going to win the fight, but I feel like there's a lot of value on Strickland. I wore my Strickland shirt today just because. I bought the shirt after he beat Adesanya. I was like, if he beats Adesanya, I'll buy the Full Violence collab. And then he beat Adesanya. I was like, okay, well, now I got to spend like $70 on a t-shirt. But I bought the t-shirt, and ever since then, he has been great. But it says plus 210 on Tapology. I'm pretty sure he's around plus 230 on a lot of books right now.
Yeah, he is. He's like around 230. Yeah, so like the line has moved against him. So obviously, if you like them at 210, hopefully you still like them at the plus 230. But yeah, you're correct. So it's very close. It's not anything super off though. So it's around plus 200 or more, depending on what book you're on. Yeah,
I think Fluffy is just a better all-around fighter here. He has the advantage in the grappling. But I don't know. I think this fight is a little too far in Fluffy's favor. Like I'm not laying the line at minus 250 for Anthony Hernandez to win. The way I see this fight going is either a late finish from Fluffy or it's going a decision either way. I like Strickland's a hard guy to put away, and if anyone can do it, it is Fluffy. We've seen him finish people before. He's a very dominant fighter. But I think we might see like a Imavov Strickland type of thing where Imavov was a little earlier in his career when Strickland beat him. But keep in mind, outside of Duplessis, and that first fight was very, very close, Strickland has beat every other fighter in the top 5 outside of Anthony Hernandez. So I think this fight is going to be a lot closer than the odds have it, but prediction-wise, I'm going to have to lean Hernandez.
Yeah, man, it's tough because Hernandez, he definitely has the ground advantage, but he just doesn't have like the takedown style that gets me confident that he could 100% bring into the floor. If he had like wrestling like Habib or Islam, where like Dagestan, pure wrestling with the double legs, he does that, but he kind of like puts you on the cage, tries to get your back, trip you up. It could work, but the problem is, the thing that makes him so great, being what makes Anthony Hernandez so great, is his cardio. He wears guys out. I think Strickland's cardio is a little bit overrated, but I'd never seen him really get too tired. So I guess I can say, he has good cardio. I don't think Anthony Hernandez will, just off the rounds going by, will overwhelm him. Anthony Hernandez is kind of like Nate and Nick Diaz, except a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more physical, especially when it comes to the wrestling and jiu-jitsu. So if Hernandez can take it to the floor, then I think we can see him finish Sean Strickland. But I haven't seen Sean Strickland fight like too many pure grapplers, right? Like even Duplessis, he's really a judo guy, but he's became more of like a kickboxer, like real mixed martial artist. But look at everyone else he's fought. Paulo Costa, stand-up fighter. Israel, stand-up fighter. Abus, he's a Magomedov, but he's a stand-up fighter too.
Yep.
Nasruddin, stand-up fighter. Jared Cannonier, stand-up fighter. Alex Pereira, stand-up fighter. Hermansson's the only guy who I guess is primarily a grappler, but he hasn't really fought a grappler. So there's a lot of question marks in this. I'm kind of with you, though. I think Anthony Hernandez will probably win this fight because I think he could still maybe compete on the feet, but he has to take it to the floor if he wants to win this very easily. If not, it could be really close. I think Sean Strickland definitely is the better boxer. I don't think he's going to get exhausted. So I think the value's on Sean Strickland, but I do think like the momentum's all on Hernandez's side.
This could definitely be a over rounds play or a go to a decision play because once again, man, I don't see Sean Strickland putting Hernandez away. He's got pillow hands and he's not going to get a sub on him. And Sean Strickland's a hard guy to take down. Even though you said like he hasn't fought that many wrestlers, he's got very good takedown defense. He's good at keeping his range away from his opponent. I really see this fight hitting the scorecards for either one of them, and that's why I'm leaning Strickland if I'm betting on this fight. But maybe a play with an over on the rounds, but I feel like the over is still going to be like minus 200 in this fight for whatever round that they choose to make as the actual line. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to wait and see what the value is on a decision. But for right now, I think the value is really just on Strickland to win.
No, I agree, man. I think the value is on Strickland, but if I was forced to bet, I think Hernandez is going to win. Yeah. But I think the only way it looks easy is if he takes them down. So that it's tough, though. It's very tough. I think it's going to be a interesting fight to watch. But all right, next fight on the card, we got Jeff Neal against Urosh Medic. Oh, man, both these guys, I think it's going to be a really exciting fight. I'm not really sure who's going to win, to be honest. I know Jeff Neal has fought the better competition. He fought one of my favorite fighters in oops, hold on. I just clicked on the wrong thing. My bad. I got to click on his recent fights. See. I can't pull him up. Hold on. Oops, there we go. So he's recently fought Prates, got knocked out ice cold. That was crazy. He fought Ian Gary, Shavkat. So he's fought the who's who of the welterweight division. Understandably, he's lost in some of those. He did have a win against Dos Anjos, an aged smaller fighter. Urosh hasn't fought that same level of fighter, in my opinion. I mean, just take a look at his record. He's fought Muslim Salikov. That's a decent win. He fought Gilbert Urbina. He's not that great. And then Suriano, he lost to him, got knocked out. So that's not a good look either. So I think Jeff Neal is the better fighter, but I don't know what the odds are for the fight, but in my opinion, I think the best play to go is inside the distance. I think someone's going to get finished. Jeff Neal has been historically durable, but I think Urosh Medic and Jeff Neal will put themselves in the firefight, and someone will either get knocked out or get finished by a submission, but I don't see it going past to the judges' scorecard. So my prediction will be inside the distance. If I was forced to bet, though, I guess I would have to lean with Jeff Neal, but he's had some pretty tough fights recently, though. That's all I'll say.
I'm leaning with Medic here, the doctor. I mean, I like the dog spot. I think he's around plus 170. I'm not sure if Tapology is up there yet, but I expect this line, honestly, to move closer. Medic is obviously the less experienced guy, but he is I don't know if I'd call him
165 right
plus
now.
165. Okay. I don't know if I'd call him the more dangerous striker, but I definitely think he's the harder hitter in this fight. Mm-hmm. And when Medic fights, it's gonna finish inside the distance. So I completely agree with you. I like Medic by knockout. Jeff Neal has been knocked out time and time again. His competition are literally arguably some of the top 3 guys in the division in Prates, Gary, and Rachmanov. So kind of got fed to the wolves in those couple fights, and now this is really a testing spot to see, is Jeff Neal really just going to get finished over and over again, or is he a reliable gatekeeper? And I think this is the fight that really determines that. And I like Medic's striking. I think he's got a lot of power, and I can see him putting away Jeff Neal.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. That's why I'm not too sure about who's gonna win. I just think there's gonna be a lot of striking, and both fighters will put themselves in compromising positions to get finished. So I'm with you there, man. I don't dislike your pick too, because I think if Urosh wins, it's probably gonna be by finish. I don't think this goes to the scorecard. So if you like Frank's view, in my opinion, take him inside the distance or by KO. I think it'll be you even more +1.
Under 1.5 might be a play too, because this fight's not going to go very long.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But all right, yeah, I think we're kind of in agreement over there. All right, next fight on the card. I think this is a good one, man. I like this one a lot. Dan Ige against, I can't pronounce his first name, but against Costa, Mizkael Costa. Who do you got, my man? Why don't you start us off?
Dan Ige is a very, very durable fighter. And Costa, you know, a decent resurgence in the UFC. He's won his last 5 fights. He was a little questionable before that, but I think I'm leaning Costa. I don't like his price just because of how tested Dan Ige is, but I don't really see a path for victory for Dan Ige in this. His last win, who is he fighting? The guy that's like 6 foot in that division. I forget his name.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
He got a win.
It's
his most recent win.
Yeah, I know. I know exactly what you're talking about. I had the other side. I had
Sean Woodson.
Yeah, Sean Woodson. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a questionable stoppage. I was on Dan Ige in that fight, and I was happy that he won, but I didn't really think that finish was justifiable. But Sean Woodson is just a complete weight bully. That guy's like 6'2", and he's in the featherweight division. So Dan Ige, very durable guy. I would lean Costa. I don't like his price. I don't think Dan Ige gets finished. I like the scorecards. I think it gets to a decision. I don't really think I'm going to be betting on this fight, though, to be honest. It really could go either way. I don't think it's justifiable to have Costa at -220 for where he's at right now.
Yeah, man. I mean, I like Costa. I mean, Costa, I think he's been, like you said, a resurging star. He had a really big win in his last fight against Morgan Shire. He knocked him out ice cold with a round kick to the face. He beat Julian Erosa, Christian Rodriguez, Feely. I mean, he's been on a 5-fight win streak. The guy is very well-rounded. He could both use his stand-up and his ground game. He has a really good ground game. I think he's going to be better than Dan Ige everywhere. He's also a little bit younger, 5 years younger. He's 29 versus 34 in the lower weight class. He's going to have a height advantage, not a reach advantage, supposedly. They have the same reach. But I just think he's going to be a little bit quicker, a little bit better everywhere. If he goes to the floor, he can get up. If he's on the floor, he can reverse. He can get submissions. So do I think he's going to finish Ige? Like you said, Ige's pretty durable. And he does. I think he has the harder punching. So I think the only way Ige's going to win is if he catches Costa. But I've seen Costa get hurt before and recover, uses wrestling, uses stand-up. He seems pretty intelligent. So I think he's going to win. How he wins, I think it's probably going to be by decision. But I think if he finishes him, I think he'll probably get a submission if he was to finish him. So I'll go either by submission, decision. But I think I would put him in like a parlay, not like a big one where you need like every single leg to hit, but if it's like a 2-leg, you're trying to get to like a -110 using a -200 leg. I don't think he's that bad, man. I think he's going to win. Just how he wins, it's tougher because obviously you can't. It's hard to bet -220s with that much juice. But I like Costa in the spot. All right, let's see. Let's go to the next fight on the card. Then that next fight is Sergey Spivak against Ante Delija, bro. Ante Delija, bro. I think he got screwed over in his last fight, man. I mean, he should have not. I mean, it should have been a no contest. He fought Waldo Acosta, who got me paid in his last fight. Shout out to Waldo, but I mean, dude, it's not his fault, man. Like the ref didn't see the eye poke. He went for the finish. They stopped the fight. Then they said you got to start back. He had that huge adrenaline dump and then got knocked out at the end. But before that, he had a big win against Marcin Tybura. And now he's fighting Spivak, who did fight Waldo. A lot of people think Spivak beat Waldo in their last fight, which I don't think so. I mean, I'm a little biased. I had Waldo Costa in that fight, but look, I mean, Spivak, he has a ground game. He doesn't have the best stand-up offense. But I think in this fight, man, I think Ante Delija gets right back. Spivak is there to get hit. If he can't get the takedown, he runs in head first. I think Spivak's going to knock him. I mean, Ante Delija is going to knock him out. He has too much range, too much reach. And yeah, I think he's going to get a knockout victory and bounce back here. But I don't know what you think.
I'm leaning that way with you as well, but I think Spivak's ground game is a real threat in this fight. We
For
saw
sure.
him I think it was an armbar against Marcin Tybura, if I'm not mistaken, but I know he submitted him. And I was very surprised with how easy he made that fight look. Now, it was an armbar, yeah. Tybura, one of the oldest guys in the division, especially during that time. But I like Sergey Spivak. I think he is not going to win on the feet. This fight's not going to go to a decision. I either see him getting a sub or him getting knocked out, probably knocked out early. I was on Waldo as well. I think I've been on Waldo in every single one of his fights in the UFC so far. It's really hard to go against him. I think if I were to bet on this fight, I would probably take the under as well. I'm not going to lean one guy or the other. Prediction-wise, I'm not going to go Spivak. I don't think he's reliable enough to go that way. So, yeah, I think fading Spivak is the play for a prediction, but betting-wise, I'd probably lean taking the under because both of these guys are dangerous to win inside the distance.
Yeah, and the line hasn't changed too much. If anything, there's been some people who've been betting Spivak. I think for sure, like, it's not easy. There's a reason why it's oops, whoa, that's the wrong oops. There's a reason why Ante Delija is not in minus 200 land because if he does get taken to the floor, Spivak can for sure submit him. But I don't know. I guess this will be a big test to see if Ante Delija can avoid the wrestling. I think he can, though. That's the reason why I took him against Marcin Tybura. Marcin Tybura is kind of similar. He kind of needs to take you down to the floor. Spivak, I think, is a little bit better at doing so. But, hey, we will see. This is going to be an interesting fight. I like this one a lot. All right, let's see. Talk about the next one. Ooh, this one's a good one.
Good fight, yeah.
My man, Zach Reese against Miguel Pereira. Frank, why don't you tell us, who do you like in this one?
I am fully on Zach Reese, and I think him being at the underdog price is a little disrespectful. I think he is outside of the thrill factor of Michel Pereira. I think Zach Reese is literally better everywhere. I like him at plus 120. I'm not sure what his line's at now, but when I saw him open as an underdog, I thought it was one of my favorite picks of the entire card.
You see, Zach Reese is plus 110.
It's closing a little, yeah.
Plus 117. So, yeah, you can get a pretty good price on him if you think so. So, you like Zach Reese, right?
I like Zach Reese. I think he's going to chin Pereira. Michel Pereira has terrible defense. He's really just there as a guy that hypes up the crowd. He's an entertaining fighter with very unique striking, but he hasn't won a fight since 2024. He hasn't really fought the greatest of competition. He's on a 3-fight losing streak. Like, I don't know. Like, look at the guy. He lost to a Boos. Like, yes, he lost to Fluffy. He lost to a Boos. He lost to Kyle. How do you say his name? Is it Dawkins?
Kyle Dawkins. Yeah.
Dawkins, yeah. In round 1, I remember that fight as well because so many people were on Michel Pereira in that, and I didn't like it at all. Hasn't beat crazy competition. He does have the win over Oleksiejczuk.
And
Ponzinibbio as well, but that was a split decision.
Yeah.
I think Zach Reese is in a fantastic spot, and him as an underdog, I think, is kind of crazy. I just think he's the better fighter.
Yeah, man. I mean, look at I'm in agreement with you. I think it's either under or Reese by KO. I think there's obviously Pereira's on a 3-fight skid. Reese fights very aggressively with really high output, which is what you need to beat Pereira. I mean, you saw Pereira he just literally gets exhausted. I don't know what's happened to him because the guy is very physical. And you saw him also in some fights get very apprehensive. I think he's aware of his poor gas tank. He has that build where he's like very fast twitch, really muscular bound. And he's kind of like, few rounds, he can catch you though for sure. Like he's always live to knock out anybody because
he's first round or bust pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. So I think if Zach Reese can stay safe and just walk him down, put volume on him, he will in the second to third. Even the first round he could catch him, but second, third round could definitely drown him, and a lot of that explosiveness just goes away. So However, I will say this though. Reese doesn't fight safe though, so that's the
No, it
only
doesn't.
concern I would have if I'm backing Zach Reese against Pereira. I'll try to look at maybe this fight. It's gonna end inside the distance, under rounds, or by KO. But yeah, if I was to pick a side at plus money, I don't think it's too bad. So give me Zach Reese, the under or inside the distance as a play. But all right, let's see. We're in green. So this one's a really good one, man. Oh man,
A lot
this
of
is
the
like
prelims
probably
are
my
better
favorite
than
fight on the
better
card,
than the main
man.
card.
We got my boy Chidi and Kunjawani against Carlos Leal. Carlos Leal is a big favorite, minus 185. He got a big win. He got a knockout against a guy who fought on the last card. He fought, he got a big win against Morono, but then got knocked out cold by Muslim Salikov, bro. Muslim Salikov showing that even if you look like you're 50 years old, you just don't know, man. But Chidi's also, I think he is also off a loss. He just lost to Jake Matthews, got rear naked choked. Jake Matthews now won at a big plus price. That was good. But he had 3 good wins before that. Reese McKee, Jared Gooden, and Zaleski. That was a really good one. But look, man, in this one, I think it's gonna be another fireworks fight. But I think there's value with Chidi, bro. Carlos Leal, I have a soft spot for him because he did give me a big knockout against Morono. He got robbed by Renat Farinquira, probably the craziest robbery I've ever seen in the UFC. But he's there to be hit. He will get touched. He will put himself into danger. Chidi, I think he fights a lot more safe, and he will be able to use his range and distance to catch Carlos Leal. So I think Carlos Leal, if he goes into the game plan that he has every fight just to go head first and just put your chin in the air, I think Chidi's going to catch him and knock him out at plus 160. I think there's too much value. I think Chidi also has the grappling upside too. If for some reason they go into some type of jiu-jitsu, but I think his reach, his size, and his clean striking is going to be the difference here. So give me Chidi at the value price, plus 160.
I think Carlos Leal is a little too favored in this fight, but he is absolutely juiced out of his mind. That picture is a very recent picture of Carlos Leal, and he looks like an absolute walrus. Like it's ridiculous. This guy looks massive. But Chidi is still bigger than him. It's a very big height disadvantage for Carlos Leal, and I can see Chidi keeping his distance. I don't think he wins the exchanges if it gets into Muay Thai range. If they're getting like really close and physical against the cage, I think Leal is definitely has the advantage there. I would have to agree with you on the pricing. I think the leaning on Chidi is a good value spot at plus 160, and check the fight odds page. Let's see if he's actually
out. Yeah, that's true. I forgot. Let's see, where's Carlos? Yeah, it's actually gone down. Chidi opened up supposedly at a plus 220. So if you got plus 220, geez, now he's plus 105.
Pick him. Yeah, that value's gone. That
makes more sense. Like I think
it does.
Pick him is more sense.
I think it is a pick 'em. Yeah. I would lean probably Chidi the same way. I think he has cleaner striking. I don't think he's a as much of a finisher as Carlos Leal is, but I like Chidi. I think he can get it done by decision as well if he really just puts it on Carlos and keeps him at the distance. But Leal by finish, I think, is very live. And honestly, we still have like a week and a half until this fight even happens. I wouldn't be surprised if the odds completely flip and Chidi's the favorite by the time the fight starts.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know what the odds are for inside the distance. I imagine it has to be very juiced, but I don't personally think it gets to the cards, just the way Carlos Leal fights. But Chidi fights smart. I mean, he could bring it to a decision. That's totally fair. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think Chidi should have ever been plus 200. That's crazy.
No. Yeah,
that's crazy. All right, see, next fight we got Ade Osborne against Alberich Idris. I don't know how to say his last name. I'm sorry, man.
Alibi Idris, I think.
Yeah, there you go. Idris. Frank, why don't you start us off?
I like Ade Osborne here. I think it's a really good spot for him. I mean, Idris lost his first fight in the UFC by sub. I think Ade Osborne, ignore his win-loss. Okay, he's 13-9. He's lost 4 of his last 5. But I think he is one of the hardest hitters in the division. He's got really, really good power. And I kind of like Ade Osborne by a knockout. I think he can get a finish in round 2. If he doesn't get a finish, I think Idris wins by decision. That is not going to do him any favors. Looking at the win-loss there, but I like Ode Osborne. I think he's got really clean striking, and he's a more experienced guy in the UFC. Idris, all his fights before that, where did he fight before
He
that?
fought in I don't know, some outside the Ultimate Fighter. He fought in the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, so we're not, other than the Ultimate Fighter, like there's not really much to go off of his wins. We don't
and just against Joseph Morales, he lost.
He got choked out. Yeah. I like Ode Osborne as the dog spot. I'm not sure what the odds are at now, but I liked him when he opened at plus 145.
Let's see. I'll pull it up for you. Let's see. Where is he? Where's Ode Osborne? There you go. See, Ode Osborne is plus 127 now, so it's gone down a lot.
Yep.
This one's tough, man. I mean, I have a few problems with Ode Osborne. He does hit very hard. The problem is the guy gets tired. He has a pretty terrible gas tank. So it's really, I have a kind of a rule. Like, I don't like betting on guys who have bad gas tanks unless they're fighting someone else who has a very bad gas tank. I don't know if Idris has a bad gas tank, or not. I haven't seen enough tape on him to really figure it out. I think, it's really hard. I mean, I get it. Like, maybe at the new odds at plus 120, I don't think I could back Osborne.
Yeah, not at that price.
This is a fight for me. I would personally skip.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm forced to bet, I think Idris is going to get the win, or win by a decision. Because I just can't trust Ode Osborne's gas tank. He starts off really hot, and then he continually fades. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was doing really well in the first round and fades on to the second and third, and maybe Idris can get a finish, but something that I'm not like super confident in, though.
Yeah, that's the thing, is we don't really know. We haven't seen Idris get knocked out. His only loss is in the UFC, and it was his first UFC fight. So is his chin durable? I don't really know. I haven't seen tape on him either. So I would probably go either Ode Osborne by knockout, or it's going to be Idris by decision. I think I'm going to skip this fight entirely. I don't really like a bet here, especially since Osborne's price is going down. If it was going up, I would probably throw something on him, but at the prices that's now, this is probably a skip for me.
Yeah, guys, look, you don't have to bet every single fight, but we're just obviously giving our take, and hopefully you can use the information to where you fit best. But,
yeah, end of the day, these are predictions. They're not our actual bets on the fights, right? Like we're probably going to flip-flop back and forth for like the next week, right? Like all these lines are going to move. We'll see what happens, but yeah, that fight, I don't think I would touch it.
Yeah, this fight, I mean, another fight that I'm probably going to skip, Aiden Correa against Luis Guro. I mean, Luis Guro is like a standing banger. I mean, he's a plus 210 dog. So, I mean, in my opinion, what he has is a puncher's chance. I mean, if you take a look at his last few fights, he lost. He got knocked out by Ode Osborne. Speak of the devil, got knocked out. Then he fought Jesus Aligar, who I don't think is a very high-level fighter, lost by unanimous decision. Now he's going against Aiden Correa. I mean, this guy, I don't think he's fought. I mean, he's fought in one UFC fight night, knocked out Alessandro Costa. But other than that, I haven't really seen too much of him. I mean, yeah, he's 11-3 versus 10-2. He's a little bit younger, 27-32. I mean, it's tough for me, man. He's a lot bigger, though, 5'8", 67-inch reach against a 5'5", 64-inch reach. I'm skipping this fight. I don't really have, in my view, a big edge. I probably would agree with the odds right now. I think Correa will probably win, but I mean, yeah, I don't know what you think. You have any take on this fight?
Guro got put out really bad against Ode Osborne. Like that was bad. And Ode Osborne was like a plus 300 dog in that fight. I remember watching that fight, and I was super surprised with how it finished. But yeah, I think Correa gets it done by decision. I don't really think Guro is very good. It's like that one fight with Ode Osborne was like his test fight to see if he's going to become a top 10 guy and become a contender, and he failed it miserably. So I don't really like betting this fight either. I don't think there's too much value on it. If I were to give out a prediction, I'd say either Correa by a finish early, or he just goes to a decision, 3 rounds, 30-27. But I don't like the odds on this fight either.
Yeah, I don't like this fight that much. Let's see. All right, we'll start moving down the card, and I think there's even some better fights down this card. But another fight. Let's go. Nora Carinoli against Jocelyn Edwards. Frank, what's your take on this one?
I like Jocelyn Edwards. I think she's one of the most entertaining women to watch in the UFC right now. Um, a WMMA fighter that consistently can get finishes is not something that you see very often, and I think she gets it done by finish inside the distance. She can knock her out. She can get a sub. She's done both before. I like Edwards by a finish. I think this one is a pretty simple pick for me.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna make it easy too. I think Jocelyn Edwards has the way better stand up. I think she has the cleaner boxing. She has the length and volume advantage. I mean, she's 5'8", 1 inch tall with a 3-inch reach advantage, and I think that just plays into her fighting style. And she'll walk this girl down. So I don't. I mean, I'm never banking unless it's like certain fighters. I can never bank that the girl's gonna finish the other girl, but I think she definitely has a pathway for sure to get a knockout because I think she will be the harder, cleaner puncher or just striker. So I'm with you on that one, man. Jocelyn Edwards, money line, or KO. Let's see where the line is now. So I'm gonna pull it up. Jocelyn Edwards. She's a minus 300 now. So yeah, you definitely have to. Yeah, it's moving.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree. I think she's gonna get the win or the finish. All right, let's move down this card, baby. All right, we have a good one. This is a really good one right here. Ramiz Brahimaj against Pole Soriano. This is a very good fight, and this is the first one. It's a minus 110, a straight pick'em fight. I'm gonna pull up I gotta pull up my notes because this one's a really tough one, bro. I'm not sure, man. This one has a lot of finishing upside on both sides, man. The one thing about Soriano is in the past, he does gas out. He does get tired. I've seen him get tired, but I don't know. I mean, his last few fights, he looked pretty good. Against Miguel Baeza, who has a glass chin, he was able to go all 3 rounds and get a unanimous decision victory. He looked really good there. That was a while ago in 2024. He fought Urosh Medic, who we just spoke about, knocked him out. So we really didn't get to see his gas tank. Then he fought Veretenikov, who had a big victory last night, well, the last fight card, but against someone who's very old. So I mean, he got a unanimous decision victory. He didn't look like he was getting too tired, but I mean, maybe his gas tank has improved. But I mean, before that, he was getting touched up. I mean, Roman Kopylov knocked him out. Nick Maximov beat him in a split decision. Brendan Allen beat him. I mean, Soriano. I mean, Ramiz Brahimaj. When it comes to his last few fights,
not good wins.
I mean, he hasn't really fought anybody, bro. He fought Mickey Gao, Billy Ray Goff, Austin Van Hoof. He's fought nobody, bro. So I mean, who's had the tougher strength of schedule? Soriano, in my opinion. He's fought the much tougher guys. But if you look at the odds right now, right, I'm gonna have to show this. Brahimaj is a big favorite. He's minus 135. So if you look at Soriano, he's the dog. I think I
like the dog.
Fight.
Yeah.
If Soriano doesn't get tired, and it's a big if, that's the thing that gets me a little scared if I was to back Soriano. But if he's a dog, man, I think he has a chance, man. I think he has, the equal stand-up, maybe, somewhat equal ground game. But Brahimaj hasn't fought anyone for me to say, okay, yeah, he's a gap above him. So I think the line's off. I think it should be a straight pick 'em. So if you're going to give me plus money with Soriano, I think I'd take it. But what do you think?
Yeah, I completely agree. I was going to bring up Brahimaj's strength of schedule. Does anybody watching this know who Billy Ray Goff is? Like, I don't think anybody watching it does. And Austin Vanderford is fighting on this card as well, and he is a massive, massive underdog. Okay, Brahimaj has nowhere near the strength of competition that Soriano has. Soriano beat Medic, who is now going to be fighting Jeff Neal. He just beat Veretenikov, who just put out Nico Price on the feet. Now, obviously, it's Nico Price, but the way he finished him was very, very dominant. I think if you're getting Soriano at an underdog price, I honestly thought opening that Soriano should have been the favorite in this fight. So when I saw it at a pick 'em, I liked it. And if it's going to keep moving in his favor, yeah, I'll take him at plus money, no problem.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. Yeah, I'm glad we agreed on this one because I don't think Soriano should be a dog. But look, Soriano's biggest thing is his gas tank. So if it's he's gotta land the shots and just not get too crazy because he can't blow his gas tank again. Because if he does that, he's done. All right, let's go. There's another good fight. I like this fight a lot. JPL against Philip Rowe.
Oh, did Austin Vanderford pull out of this fight? It was supposed to be JPL versus Vanderford.
I guess he did. Yeah, he's fighting Philip Rowe.
Okay, yeah. On the UFC page, it still says Vanderford. I guess it hasn't updated. I didn't know he pulled out of this fight. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know when that happened.
Let me see. I look at the fight odds too. Let me see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
take a
it's
look at that.
Philip Rowe. Yep.
Damn, okay. That throws a little bit of a wrench in what I was gonna decide. I still think JPL gets a finish, but I think, or not a finish, gets the win. But I think this is a much harder fight than Austin Vanderford is, because Phil Rowe is a very tested guy. He's been in the division for a long time, has some decent wins, hasn't really beat anybody crazy recently. I mean, all the guys that are better than him have beat him. Always, losing to Neil Magny is always a big teller on where you are in your UFC career as well. Yeah, I'd have to lean JPL. This was going to be one of my favorite picks of the card for JPL by finish if he was still fighting Vanderford. But now, I'll lean JPL as a prediction, but I don't think I would touch this fight money line wise.
Yeah, man, I think JPL is just better everywhere. I think he's been fighting since he's been a kid. So this guy grew up in the fight game. I think, look, the problem with Philip Rowe is that he just doesn't put it together that well. Like, he's very physically talented, very long for the division, 6'3", 80-inch reach advantage. So just look at the 8-inch. It's basically an 8-inch gap. It's crazy. 4 inches in height. So it's going to be a huge size advantage. The problem is, like, I think a lot of these really long fighters that he doesn't generate a ton of power. He's a volume type guy.
Yeah.
If you could take him down, he's not as good. I mean, I don't remember if because I've made money on Philip Rowe in 2 different ways. I bet him against Andrelusa. He knocked out Andrelusa. Andrelusa gassed out. And then I bet Sun Yong Kim against him, and Suk Yong Ko won the decision. So, and I don't remember if he took him down, but I think JPL will just use his physicality. He'll be able to use, like, he'll mix it up wrestling. Even with that huge reach advantage, could still use his leg kicks, inside fighting. I think he's going to win. I don't know how he's going to win. So, unfortunately, based off these odds, let's see. Let me pull up the odds. Philip Rowe. JPL, you get him at around minus 200, which I think is totally fair. So, yeah. I would use him maybe in a parlay if you wanted to. Obviously, like, any leg in a parlay could lose, but I think he's going to win. I'm not so sure on how. Like, I don't know if it's going to be by decision. I can see him getting a finish too, because the only problem with Philip Rowe is that he does slow down sometimes. He just doesn't fight with a lot of intensity. So, and he fights too safe. So sometimes, you think he could get finished, but the guy's pretty good at avoiding, a lot of aggression. And then other times he puts himself in danger because I don't think he has the best fighting IQ. So I take JPL though. All right, let's see. Let's go into the next one on the card. Yadier Devali against Jordan Levitt. My man, who do you got in this one?
I think this is like the fight I'm most confident on the card, prediction wise. I don't look at Jordan Levitt's picture. It's like they're doing him dirty. All right, he's got to have a better, like, use his UFC picture or something. that is doing him no justice. You put that picture on the screen, that should have absolutely zero confidence. You got the Cuban problem versus the Monkey King. So I don't know if Jordan Levitt is like a big anime guy, if he's like, like Rufy, how he loves One Piece, but he's just worse. I'm assuming that's what the Monkey King means. I'm not picking Jordan Levitt in any fight ever. I'm completely fading him, but minus 400, I'm not betting on this fight either. I think he probably gets finished if I were to give out a prediction. And yeah, that's really it. Moving on. I don't see a path to victory for him, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think Yadir is minus 370, minus 350, depends on what book you're looking at. So yeah, that's basically where the line is right now. I mean, yeah, Jordan Levitt, the only thing I remember about him is he got that big knockout because he picked the guy up in the air and slammed him on his head.
Yep.
I mean, that was good for him, but
it was Kurt Hollabaugh, wasn't it? Didn't he finish?
Oh, yeah, I think it was I forgot which one it was. Maybe it was Victor Martinez. It was before Paddy Pimblett, I think. I forgot, but basically he Paddy Pimblett, I remember this fight. Paddy Pimblett choked him out. Jordan Levitt doesn't have any stand-up at all. The guy is primarily a wrestler.
Yep.
So unless he could take down Yadir, which is possible. No. I've seen a few fights with him. I saw his last fight against Isaac Dogarian, which was a fixed fight. Isaac Hernandez gave himself up, but not to take anything away from him, he did beat Connor Matthews. I actually saw that fight. That was a good victory. I think he was a pretty decent sized underdog against Connor Matthews as well. So the guy's skilled. He's very physical. He seems to be probably be the more physical fighter. I don't know if he should be minus 350. Like I haven't seen enough from him. And Jordan Levette's not that good though. So I mean, he has terrible stand up. He's pretty tough grappling wise, but I think Yair probably gets a knockout. So if I was to bet, it'd be knockout or pass, nothing else. I don't think he'll get a submission, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of juice to lay on someone that I haven't seen too much of. It would basically be just me fading Jordan Levette.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Levette's most recent win, like I said, over Holloway, who was a like 37, 38-year-old prospect off of, what was he on? He wasn't on the Contender Series. He was on what's that shit called? The TV show they do.
Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah, he was on the Ultimate Fighter, I'm pretty sure. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was an Ultimate Fighter and he was like 37, 38 years old. I was like, this guy is going absolutely nowhere in the UFC, even if he makes it out of the Ultimate Fighter, which he did. He made it out of the Ultimate Fighter, but I don't know if he's won a fight since then. So not a very impressive win for me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. I think it's a finish or pass. I don't like the line of minus 350 either. It's just no matter who he's fighting, anything's possible. It's not worth laying that.
Yeah, no, I mean, if Jordan Levette gets a takedown, I mean, and he gets on top, I wouldn't be surprised if he was able to like make it really dicey. And you laying, I always say, you're laying minus 300 or minus 400. You better be very confident in domination. Like the guy, there's one path for sure where the guy is gonna absolutely kill the other guy. But all right, let's see. Next fight on the card, we got Carly Giudice against Juliana Miller. Giudice is a massive favorite, bro. Minus 400. I want to see if it's the same, if it's moved anyway.
I think it's gonna go more in her favor.
It's more, yeah, minus 600 on fight odds. I mean, look, man. I would just skip this fight. I'm not laying minus 600 on anyone, unless it's like Amanda Nunes against some bum or like Alex Pereira against some complete bum. But yeah, in women's MMA, I mean, this is probably gonna be what happens. Carla Giudice will probably beat her, either by knockout or some type of finish. But I'm not gonna lay minus 600. I'm not trying to be extra crazy to try to get super specific. I think there's way better fights that we already spoke about where you can probably get some value. But for the pick, I'm not gonna go crazy. I don't think Juliana Miller has what it takes to beat her, but I go with Carly Giudice in this one.
Yeah, there's absolutely zero value on Giudice to win by money or on her money line. I honestly think, I know I mentioned it earlier with our last women's MMA fight. If any women's fight is going to end in a finish, it's going to be this one. Carly has 2 fights in the UFC. They both are by knockout. One was over, who was it? Duben, and the other one was over Nicole Cagliari. So 2 women's fighters that aren't very proven, but 2 knockouts in 2 fights, especially in women's MMA, that's almost unheard of. That's very, very impressive. Minus 600, nowhere near worth betting on, especially a women's MMA fight, because anything can happen if it goes to a decision, to be honest. Like, you literally never know. But I would maybe take a look at what her knockout prop is, but since she's minus 600 now, I'd assume her knockout prop is probably close to even money.
Nah, it's probably gonna be like minus 250, 300. I would think. I don't know.
Minus 250 on a women's fight? I don't know. I feel like
she's minus 600 on money line.
Yeah.
Like, unless you think that she's gonna win by decision, which I don't think people expect. I think people expect her to knock her out. But
I think I'm gonna check if that line is out. Hang on.
She lost one fight recently by punches by Luana Santos. Who I had Luana Santos against oh my god, who did Luana Santos? I forgot. But anyway, I think it's gonna be very similar to the Luana Santos fight. I think Giudice is gonna knock her out, just very similarly. But hey, we'll see. I don't know what
I don't think I don't think the line is out yet. Let me check.
DraftKings might have it, but yeah, I think it's
not out yet.
No, not yet.
The under 2.5 is minus 190 though.
Ooh, okay. So maybe this won't be minus 300. Okay, I think Giudice is gonna knock her out. So if it's plus money or even money, I don't think that's a bad look at all. I think
I think anything up to like minus 130 is maybe I'd take a play on it. Anything over minus 150, I don't think I'd touch it. But I do
Yeah.
expect her to win by knockout for sure.
All right, let's see. I think that's it,
That's
right?
it.
Is there any more? I think like Ruzuboya was supposed to fight, but I think they took it off, but other
Those
than
are
that,
the two
man.
canceled bouts at the bottom they showed. So they did show Vanderford was canceled. Go up a little bit. Yeah, right there. Down.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, yeah. But hey, man, look, guys, thank you so much. You've gotten this far. Hopefully, all the picks we have were helpful. You want to see us keep on coming up here and drop these plays, man. Make sure you put down in the comments who you got for this fight. Make sure you give my boy Frank a follow. And to the next one, man. Frank, thanks so much. Anything you want to say before we go?
No, not really, to be honest. I think we got a pretty exciting card. Everything you said, we're going to keep this going. So if you like our little prediction videos, comment down below, let us know. If you think we got anything wrong on this fight and you're like, you guys are stupid, let us know about that too, I guess. And
yeah, let us know,
we'll
man. You guys
happens.
disagree for sure. Let me know. Let us know. Bye, guys. Until the next one, man. See y'all later.